Texans are headed to the polls as early voting continues. We'll tell you what's on the ballot in this upcoming election.
Waves of pink flooded Barton Creek Square for a life-saving cause. Hear about the joy shared at a research fundraiser.
The Texas Rangers conquered the Diamondbacks in Game 5 of the World Series. What it took for the Rangers to win their first World Series.
Reporting Texas TV starts now.
Good evening, I'm Taryn Jones.
And I'm Michelle Tamayo.
Voters this week are deciding between 14 amendments to the Texas Constitution. Proposition 4 is the $18 billion property tax cut. It would change how properties are appraised and could save homeowners hundreds of dollars per year. If Prop 9 is passed, retired teachers will get a 2x to 6% cost of living adjustment. Early voting ends tomorrow, and Election Day is Tuesday.
Caitlin Armstrong is back in the courtroom for her murder trial where she is pleading not guilty. She is accused of killing professional cyclist Mariah Wilson in Austin last May, which prosecutors allege was fueled by romantic jealousy. The jury for the murder trial was selected Monday and the opening statements began Wednesday. Her defense attorney says there were many cameras near the scene of the crime, but none of the footage shows Armstrong.
You didn't hear that not one witness saw Caitlin Armstrong allegedly commit this murder. Not one. Because there isn't one.
The judge anticipates the trial will take a couple of weeks. Cameras will only be allowed for the opening and closing statements. Friends star Matthew Perry was found dead in a hot tub in his Los Angeles home Saturday. The cause of death is still under investigation, according to a Los Angeles medical examiner. He devoted his last years to helping others recover from the addiction that he once faced. Perry wanted to be remembered for more than his character in Friends. Perry was 54 years old.
An airport employee has died after being hit by a truck on Tuesday morning at Austin Bergstrom International Airport. The incident happened around 9:30 a.m. near a service road that goes by the tarmac. No flights were delayed. CPR was performed on the employee, but they were later pronounced dead at the scene. The investigation is ongoing.
The number of overdoses from fentanyl is rising here in Austin, and now City Council is stepping in. On October 19th, the council agreed on giving $250,000 to Communities for Recovery. This is a nonprofit that works to lower the amount of opioid overdoses. Council members say the money will help with outreach and hiring peer coaches.
We need to be risk takers too. There's not an end result in any of this. You know, it's about meeting people where they're at now and getting what they need now.
Communities for Recovery is just one way Austin is addressing the city's overdose problem. In April, council decided to place Narcan in businesses near overdose hotspots.
Sunday was a gray morning for Austin, but for the Susan G. Komen Foundation, everything was pink.
Thousands gathered in the parking lot at Barton Creek Square Mall to raise money and support each other. Lane Rice is live in the studio to tell us more.
I had so much fun covering this event. It was so inspiring. This event started in 1983 as a 5K run, but it's now a walk to be more inclusive for any participants going through treatment. Thousands walked 1.5 miles at Barton Creek Square to fundraise for breast cancer research.
It's a beautiful thing to have this community come together for our women and men that have been impacted. It's unfortunate that there's so many people, but the survivorship is beautiful.
Despite on and off rain showers, the turnout did not disappoint. In a sea of pink, fighters, survivors, and supporters united with strength and smiles.
I'm walking for myself. I'm a breast cancer survivor. I'm in remission and I'm thriving. Oh my God, Susan G. Komen means so much to me. I was underinsured and I reached out to Susan G. Komen and they paid for every step of the way.
More than a fundraiser, this walk inspired positivity and hope.
You know, people were wearing their family members and friends' names, and there was just a lot of spirit in the crowd. So I could feel everyone lifting each other up.
The Susan G. Komen Foundation is the world's leading breast cancer organization, investing more than $1 billion in research. This is the biggest fundraising event of the year for the Central Texas branch. So far, they've raised $453,000 to support their mission fighting for a world without breast cancer.
I'm here at the finish line of the Susan G. Komen More Than Pink Walk. The fight for the cure does not stop here, though. Fundraising continues on the Susan G. Komen website until
under 26.
People wouldn't be alive without this community coming together and raising money. And so that makes me feel that's like my greatest accomplishment is seeing those survivors walk towards the stage.
With a fundraising goal of $600,000, the More Than Pink Walk donations remain open until the end of November. Links to make a donation and additional resources provided by the Susan G. Komen Foundation can be found with this story on reportingtexas.com.
Emptier after Cruise paused their fleet of self-driving cars. Find out what led the companies to suspend robo-taxi operations in Texas.
A gallery in South Austin is creating art and change. We'll tell you how you can support the homeless through an annual art show.
My biggest fear in the middle of my addiction was that I would never be able to get over it and that my kids wouldn't have a father.
Crippling depression, anxiety, exhaustion.
I was in prison and her mom had a heart attack.
There's a lot of institutional issues and challenges that suggest to us that dads aren't essential, and I've always rejected that.
Sometimes you don't have to know everything about being a dad. You just gotta be there.
There is a road laid out for me.
Boxes everywhere, and this is gonna be Addie's room.
I am
I think you're really gonna like it.
I hope so. Yeah.
I know this road is there for me. There is a long way.
First night here, but Amy seems cool.
The way is down by the river. I am blind, but I need not see.
I got this.
I know it's there for me.
Okay.
If I'm really free, take me down to the river and wash me.
Chances are you've seen a driverless car on Austin roadways. Maybe you've even seen one stalled at an intersection. Cruise, this electric self-driving vehicle company, is suspending all of their driverless cars across the country. Cruise says they're doing this in order to build trust with the public. More than 100 cars were introduced to the city in 2020. Since then, numerous stalls and collisions have been reported by Austin residents.
I mean, especially like in Austin where the infrastructure is changing all the time, and I just think like it's not easy to have something a technology that's maybe not fully developed yet in a city like Austin.
On Friday, the mobility company held a special meeting to discuss the Cruise suspension after less than 2 years of being in Austin.
We wanted to follow up on a story we reported a few weeks ago concerning the West Campus ambassadors. We now have a better idea of how they help in their two teams. Safety ambassadors have escorted 130 residents home. The cleaning ambassadors have also been busy clearing over 5,000 pounds of trash and removing about 2,600 pieces of graffiti. This program's progress is noticed by stores along the Guadalupe Street.
Certainly the area is cleaner, trash is being picked up regularly. I was amazed at they were taking stickers off of light posts.
The program is funded by UT and aims to keep the streets friendly and clean.
The city of Austin is trying to help people experiencing homelessness by sending text alerts about extreme weather this winter. The Homeless Strategy Division launched this project on October 25th, with texts going out to over 3,500 unhoused residents. Outreach teams will be going around with QR codes to get people to sign up, but all residents, regardless of housing situations, are encouraged to sign up at warrencentraltexas.com.
First Baptist Church of Austin is looking for a donor to help renovate and expand their downtown space. the church has turned down tens of millions of dollars from developers wanting to buy their property located on 9th and Trinity Street. Rather than sign on the highest offer, they're searching for a community partner that matches their values.
We are offering a percentage interest in our property here and an appreciating asset that can help give life to the vision that we would commonly chart together.
The money would be used to create a space for affordable childcare, venues for live music, and visual arts and public spaces for people of all faiths. The Blue Genie Art Bazaar hosted the 31st annual Art from the Streets Gallery.
The gallery is for Austin's unhoused population and gives them the opportunity to showcase and sell their art. Meg Gross is live in the newsroom with the story.
In Austin, more than 6,000 people are considered homeless. But a nonprofit called Art from the Streets is trying to change that. They provide a free studio to create art 4 times a week. Then, once a year, they sell that work. This year, the gallery featured over 3,000 art pieces. The average price of a painting was $25. The majority of the profits go directly to the artists.
It helped me a lot. It gave me hope and a sense of purpose, and it gave me a safe place. I feel like it really saved my life to meet these people.
Sanithia Kelly is an artist in the program. She lost her home during the COVID-19 pandemic and had given up on life. After she started attending Art from the Streets, she found inspiration in creation and community. Her life was completely turned around, and her hope for the future was restored. Art from the Streets' next gallery is this weekend at Travis Heights Art Trail. To read more about the artists and their stories, check out the story at reportingtexas.com. Live from the newsroom, I'm Meg Gross, Reporting Texas TV.
With a week left of the 3rd special session, Governor Greg Abbott has expanded the school choice agenda. The expansion includes additional public school funding towards school safety, special education, and teacher raises. This is a major compromise from the governor and his push for school choice. Lawmakers do not have a bill to consider yet, and it is uncertain if one will get approved on time.
It is important to this body and it's important to Texans that we take up teacher pay, that we take up school safety, that we increase the basic allotment, and we reform an accountability system that better informs parents.
Democrats are not in favor of Abbott's recent efforts as they fear this would end up defunding public schools. Clothes you might want to rethink it. Grayson Freeling will tell us how warm it's going to get next week.
Vending machines are serving more than just chips and drinks to Lost Pines Elementary students. See how your student can earn book vending tokens after the break.
In Texas, it's illegal to pick bluebonnets, right? Wrong. This is merely a rumor concerning our beloved official state flower. While there's no law that forbids you from picking these flowers, it might be illegal or unsafe in some situations. First, be courteous and take care of the flowers that so many Texans enjoy. Some are annuals that won't reseed if they are picked or trampled. Never trespass on private property, and don't damage or destroy rights of way, like digging up large clumps of flowers or driving into a field of wildflowers. Finally, remember that it is against the law to pick, cut, or destroy any plant life at Texas state parks, including bluebonnets. Wildflower season will be here soon. These treasures attract many visitors each year, and you can find them across the state. So get outside, be safe, and enjoy.
Being the new face of Don't Mess with Texas comes with a lot of responsibility. Thanks. Everybody loves me here.
I can't wait to go home.
I just want to help keep Texas clean and maybe spice some things up around here.
Lasso the barrel! Lasso the...
I'll never litter, Joe.
Don't Mess with Texas means don't litter.
My name is Teresa Barber. I was in the United States Navy, and I served overseas in the Middle East and Africa. Early on in my career, I had a commander that taught our suicide prevention training on a Friday afternoon, and the very next day, he took his own life. 90% of suicide attempts involving a gun are fatal. You don't know how much somebody can hide what's going on inside their head. Store your guns securely. help stop suicide.
This past week, temperatures dropped near freezing.
I was so cold walking to class, but the weather did get me a little excited for the coming winter months.
Yeah, for sure. And I don't know about y'all, but I'm especially excited for the winter and fall fashion. I even got to wear some sweaters to class this week, which was extra exciting. If you haven't already pulled out your winter clothes from storage, this past week we said goodbye to Austin's summer heat and welcomed a cold front to town. Temperatures neared freezing some nights as we hit dips in the 30s and 40s. This was certainly an exciting change of pace that many welcomed for Halloween weekend. Going into this week, we'll see slightly warmer temperatures, but it'll definitely stay cooler than in weeks past. Today hit a high of a cool but sunny 64 degrees, and tonight we'll get down to a brisk 46 degrees. We're looking at around 70% humidity with mostly clear skies and light winds from the south-southeast. There's only a 5% chance of rain. Now, tomorrow you can expect a high of 74 and a low of 54 degrees. We may get a nice breeze with some winds between 5 to 10 miles per hour. There's a 5% chance of rain tomorrow night, but we're expecting mostly clear skies. This weekend and early into next week, the temperatures are going to pick up a little, but don't worry, we're steering just clear of the 90s and looking at a weekly high of around 86 degrees. You can expect most nights to be a little cooler though and linger around the 50s. On Saturday, the high will be 78 with a low of 59 degrees. If you're going to watch the Longhorns take on Kansas State at 11 a.m. in DKR, the weather should be pretty football friendly. The sun will be shining with a few passing clouds. You may want to bring a light jacket, but you can save your extra warm gear for later in the season. How are y'all feeling about this return to slightly cooler weather?
Y'all, my sweaters are burning a hole in my closet, so they are going to be so excited to get the chance to get out and get worn, you know?
I wish I had a couple of more sweaters. I'm a little cold, but if it gives me a reason to shop, I'm all for it.
For sure. We'll always love that opportunity.
True. The Westlake High School volleyball team scored a historic win in their district closing game. Watch how they broke Lake Travis's 17-game winning streak after the break.
The 62-season drought is over. Despite a few injuries, the Rangers took home a big win, and Campbell Choate will tell us all about it.
Matthew.
Huh? Oh, sorry.
It's okay. I just need to a little bit better.
I know that a lot of times, Mom, it might not seem like I'm listening to you, but I am. I hear you. And what you say really does matter to me.
I mean, let's be honest. No kid likes rules, but I get why we have them. I hear you, and I know it's because you care.
All the talks we've had over the years, including what you've told me about not using alcohol and other drugs, they stick with me. And believe it or not, they really do make a difference, especially at times that matter most.
Hey, want a drink?
No thanks, I'm good. So thank you, Dad, for talking and preparing me for what's ahead.
Thanks, Mom, for never giving up and always being my biggest fan.
Thank you for letting me know what you expect, so I can try to meet your expectations.
Thank you for talking.
For more information about talking with your kids about underage use of alcohol and other drugs, visit underagedrinking.samhsa.gov.
You talk to
In every family, small conversations can make a big impact. I grew up on tour with my parents. Kind of different, but we bonded over music just like other families do over sports, camping, or other interests. And we talked. Little everyday conversations from silly to serious that built a foundation over time. Honest conversations, like when my dad shared his experiences as an alcoholic.
Your honesty about that part of your life gave me a sense of integrity that I wanted to uphold in my own life. And I was so grateful that you and Mom had become these sober, stable people who were always there for me.
I wanted you to know from someone who's been in recovery more than 30 years now that hard work is what creates success, not alcohol or other drugs, whether it's music or anything else. I said it a lot, and I'm glad you took it to heart.
Talk, they hear you. For more information about talking with your kids about underage use of alcohol and other drugs, visit underagedrinking.samhsa.gov.
Hi, I'm Campbell Choate, and I'll be talking sports today. The future of Texas volleyball looks bright as 2 UT commits from Westlake helped their team pull off a big win against Lake Travis, who are district champions. Janelle Tanguma has a story.
Westlake shattered Lake Travis's 17-game winning streak with an upset during their district closing game. The Lady Chaparrals outperformed the top-ranked team for their last home game of the season.
To finish our regular season beating a team like Lake Travis, who I think is one of the best teams in the state of Texas, if not the best team, it's really good for us, our momentum and our confidence going into the playoffs.
Lake Travis was ranked number 13 in the nation for 2 weeks straight coming into this game, making unranked Westlake the true underdogs. Big plays like this save from Reese Emmerich kept Westlake in the lead for most of the game.
We weren't going to give up. We were going to win no matter what. Like, we felt it. We knew we had it.
They proved to have more hustle and tenacity on the court, giving them the victory in just 4 sets. In an upset win for the storybooks, Austin Westlake's win over Lake Travis is the first in 4 years, and Coach Sines credits the win to key players that happen to be committed to the University of Texas.
I'm just overjoyed. Like, to end my last home game here, it's amazing. And to beat Lake Travis for the first time in 4 years, it's surreal.
Reese Emmerich has committed to play for UT Volleyball, the 2022 national champions, while Lily Davis will take part in UT's newest varsity program, beach volleyball.
The program is going to be amazing, and I'm so happy to be in the start of it. I was the first commit for the UT beach program, which is really cool to say.
Coach Sines hopes to make it to the state tournament. To do that, they need to win the next 5 playoff games. In Austin, Janelle Tanguma, reporting Texas TV.
After facing and defeating Vandergrift High School in the first round of the playoffs on Monday, Westlake now has an 8-game win streak. They will continue on to the second round where they will match up against Brandeis High School. Texas football remains at number 7 in the nation after their win against BYU. Redshirt freshman Malik Murphy made his debut at DKR Stadium. Murphy threw a total of 170 yards but had 1 interception. Coach Sarkisian said that while he was proud of Murphy's performance, there is still room for improvement.
He had opportunities there for the game to go in a little better direction, a little smoother direction, and naturally we just didn't finish those drives in the red area. And so, you know, I'd be lying if I didn't tell you there's a level of frustration as it pertains to that.
Texas' next game will be at home against Kansas State this Saturday at 11. Basketball season is now underway as Texas men's preseason started on Monday. They hosted their exhibition game against St. Edwards with Rodney Terry as the first official head coach. Junior Tyrese Hunter had a game high of 22 points, which led to an 84-63 win. As for the women's team, their exhibition game is tonight at 7 against Midwestern State. The Texas Rangers won the World Series for the first time in franchise history. The Rangers beat the Arizona Diamondbacks 5-0 in Game 5 of the series. Although it took a while for the Bats to come alive, Marcus Semien opened up the game in the 9th inning with a 2-run home run. This win also marks the end of 11-0 postseason record on the road. So, did you guys tune into the World Series? And I have to know, are y'all Rangers fans?
Y'all, as an underrepresented North Texas fan, the Rangers winning is a balm to my soul. Yes. I am so happy.
I'm not a huge baseball fan, but anytime Texas is on top is a win. Families gathered for an annual event that occurs the day after Halloween. Learn the colorful traditions associated with celebrating the dead.
An exclusive club dedicated to America's fastest growing sport just opened in East Austin. Find out how you can start playing after the break.
Based on land value, but other things, like proximity to schools, safe bicycle lanes, and convenient transit stops.
Connectivity is a really important part of creating a walkable city. Not only do you want your streets to be connected, but they need to be connected for all modes.
Well, active transit is one of the most important ways we can put physical activity back into our daily lives, whether it's walking to work, walking to the bus stop, bicycling, or walking to school.
Well, good active neighborhoods are places that are comfortable for kids and comfortable for elderly folks. If you make it safe and comfortable for kids, it works pretty well for the rest of us.
Every journey starts with a walk. To learn more about healthy, active lifestyles, visit healthyplaceshealthypeople.org.
My name is Teresa Barber. I was in the United States Navy and I served overseas in the Middle East and Africa. Early on in my career, I had a commander that taught our suicide prevention training on a Friday afternoon, and the very next day he took his own life. 90% of suicide attempts involving a gun are fatal. You don't know how much somebody can hide what's going on inside their head. Store your guns securely. Help stop suicide.
Hey, Gwen posted her new dessert online. That is so good. Look, you gotta look at it. It's her finest work.
Talk or text later. Don't let your phone drive you.
Next time, I am turning you off.
Yum, yum, yum. That's good.
Today, tens of millions of refugees have been forced from their homes. But you can make a difference. Act now. Even small amounts make a big difference. Visit supportcrisisrelief.org.
Mexic-Arte Museum celebrates 40 years of Viva La Vida. Thousands of people gathered in downtown Austin on the corner of 4th and Congress. Dancing, face painting, and making cantrina headbands were just a few of the attractions at the event.
I think that it should definitely be embraced and celebrated by everyone, toda la gente, because again, death is not a unique experience. It's a human condition and we need to embrace it.
Viva La Vida Festival and Parade is Austin's largest and longest running Dia de los Muertos event since 1984.
A Bastrop Elementary School unveiled a book vending machine earlier this week. Thanks to the generous grant from the Bastrop Education Foundation, Lost Pines was able to gift it to the students and faculty. Books are free to students who can earn tokens for having a good attitude and making good choices. These books can be kept and collected for an at-home library.
Pickleball has become a craze nationwide. One Austin business is attempting to elevate the sport with an exclusive new club. Matt Wolski is the owner of the Racket Club, a new pickleball sport on Manor Road in East Austin. The facility features 3 courts and matching cabanas. To play, you have to become a member.
The goal is it doesn't need to be for everyone. It's for people who are really trying to play 3 or 4 times a week and have the social component built in and be able to bring their friends.
Other Racket is only open to the founding members who paid $2,500 for membership. The club plans to welcome non-members in December.
And we're finally reaching that point in the year where you can actually play pickleball without ending up drenched in sweat.
Yeah, this cooler weather has definitely made me want to spend more time outside.
I'm with you, and it looks like these cooler temperatures are going to stick around through Saturday. The days will be a little warmer than this past week, hanging around the 70s and 80s, but the nights will be a little cooler and bounce between the 50s and 60s. We're not expecting much, if any, rain this week, so you should be clear to get outside and play.
Thanks for joining us tonight on Reporting Texas TV.
If you would like to check out any of our stories or our newscast, please visit reportingtexas.com. We'll see you next Thursday. Good night.